At La Casa de Todos, we're looking at the Lord's Prayer specifically this week, and so as I've been doing that along with my friends from La Casa, I've been rereading this book by Adam Hamilton, and he's broken it down where each piece of the Lord's Prayer has its own section of the book. And so last night I was reading the section that he wrote on the very first line, Our Father who art in heaven, Our Father who art in heaven. And he actually had a real good conversation in that, just talking about the word Father and talking about the gender of God and pronouns for God. And he does a great job of really talking about that and reminding us that in our attempts to be inclusive, we don't end up being exclusive, because the people that are inclusive are not inclusive in the same way we are. So, anyway, but I want to focus on the very first word, our. And if you go through and look at the Lord's Prayer, and of course, you're either reading it in English or you're reading it in Spanish or another language of translation from where it started. When you're looking at that, you will see that throughout the Lord's Prayer, and I'll focus on English because that's what I did try to read it in Spanish last night as well, and had a conversation with some friends about, okay, which version do you read? Because actually the Lord's Prayer in the English Bibles, there's 3 different versions that's extracted from that. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But if you go through and you look, when Jesus was teaching his disciples how to pray in the way that we have it in our language, it's Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, thy will be done. Forgive us. So the very first word, our. So Jesus was teaching his disciples to pray using words like us, our. He didn't teach them to pray me, mine, me, 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 me. And I've read Adam Hamilton's book before on the Lord's Prayer, and I've read that before, but it didn't stick. But that's what really stuck with me last night is if you want to start looking at the Lord's Prayer, look at the very first word, our. Jesus taught his disciples that when they were to pray, they were not praying just for me.